Welcome back to Sunday Vibes, one and all. We're back in the pub to answer your burning questions. No Christopher Hamill this weekend. He's gone to Leicester. Amsterdam.
On a lad's holiday.
Oh,
Amsterdam.
no. So we've got a very able deputy, Chelsea's finest, the face of Chelsea FC nowadays, Zach Jalab, filling in his shoes. What a role, by the way. Congratulations. And then Pato is obviously here as he is every week. Let's get straight into it then. Tamish Bahau, a regular contributor by the way, says, which team has the best front three in world football right now? Pato.
It depends how you look at it, right? If you're looking at on a pure talent basis, it will be the one that has Messi. So Messi, Griezmann, Suarez, or Messi, Suarez, Dembele, or Messi, Griezmann, Dembele, which is probably the best at this point in time, right? That's going to be the best purely because Messi is so far ahead of everyone else. After that, if you're looking at talent, you've got to look at PSG. Like, just because the combination of Neymar and Mbappe, though Cavani is now very old, but they've got Icardi as well.
What do you think of that move?
I'm kind of fine with it. It looks like they're getting him in a year early. I think Thomas Tuchel has a job on his hands, keeping everyone happy, but if he can do it, they could be really impressive this season. And now Mbappe's injured. Cavani is going to leave at the end of this year. It doesn't look like a bad move. They've done it a year early though.
70 mil as well, isn't it? It's not that bad.
If they end up making it permanent for that, I think that's a really good
and he
price.
used to have
for
a 100 million
player.
buyout clause as well. So
Yeah, well, I think what happened is he signed a new contract to lower the buyout clause and then was loaned with an option to buy at the lower buyout clause.
Well, also, we don't know, like, they're going to pay his wages this year. They've paid some money up front, so it's hard to tell exactly what the fee would end up being. But I mean, that talent-wise is a very good one. But I think actually what often makes a difference is balance, right, in a front three. And when you're looking at balance and effectiveness, it's hard to look past Man City and Liverpool. Like, Man City are less reliant on their front three than Liverpool are because they've got so much creativity coming out of midfield. And arguably Liverpool have got so much from the fullbacks. But when you look at a three that create for each other, where everyone can create, everyone can score goals, everyone can beat their man, Liverpool really do have a pretty elite combination. That said, I do think that you could swap out a member of that front three and not really lose.
I don't know. I think you lose the balance though.
I don't know. I think you need to make sure they were the right style. But I do think that someone like, say, Lacazette is very similar to Firmino in what he does, the way he plays. You could probably swap out. You know, you'd have to swap in a very good player, but you could easily imagine putting in a Ousmane Dembele or a Leroy Sané instead of Mane. And I think probably at the end of this year they will be thinking about selling one of them, or maybe at the end of the year after.
Really?
I think at the end of the year after they'll have to. Like, what we've seen Liverpool do is really cleverly build a squad, right? And we all think that Liverpool.
But that is the weakest area, that front three. Behind them, in terms of depth.
But they'll buy others. Like, here's the thing. Like, we've all given Liverpool loads and loads of credit for how they've bought players and added them to the squad, and they deserve credit for that. They've done that really well. But that's only half of what squad building is about. The other half is knowing when to sell. And I think that probably in 2 years' time, they've maybe got another 2 years. In 2 years' time, I imagine you'd have thought that Firmino would be the one to move on, or potentially Mane, whoever they can get money for.
The one this season.
The one you'd want to keep it. Yeah, the one you'd want to keep is Salah. Because at the end of that, Firmino's going to be 28, 29, I think.
So if a big offer came in for Bobby Firmino this summer, let's say 70 to 100 million pounds for Bobby, would you take it?
If I could get a comparable replacement, like that's the key. Like, if I could get, he's not the same sort of players, but say you could get a Timo Werner for free, you'd probably do it, because then you could get Timo Werner and another forward.
They've got a few academy kids as well coming up. The one Harry Wilson at Bournemouth, he looks like the real deal. Then there's the English striker who's named Brewster, who always...
And Keanu Hoover.
Exactly.
There's a lot of pressure on Ryan Brewster though. There's always, I'm always hearing Liverpool fans back on.
But they won't actually, just chuck him in. They'll bed him in. But at the moment, you're right, they are thin. But the solution to that is, in the long run, to make smart moves.
Yeah.
And right now they've got an amazing front three, but Liverpool fans will probably whine about this, and they'll probably hate this idea of selling any one of their front three. But the problem is, fans will complain if you sell one of their favourite players. But if you leave those players for too long and they start to decline, fans will also complain that the club didn't plan for that. So you've got to strike the right balance. And I think if, say, in 2 years' time, you could sell Bobby Firmino for decent money and get in a replacement, I think that would be really, really smart. And that's how we'll see how good Liverpool are going forward.
Well, I definitely think they'll go in for Timo Werner. They're really heavily linked with Timo Werner.
Which would be a great move.
And his buyout's like 30 mil as well.
Yeah, well, he signed a new contract, a new 4-year deal at Leipzig.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, has a 30 million euro buyout clause reportedly. And I think they'll be stiff competition though.
But he could cover for Mane, he could cover for Firmino, and that would just be really clever, because then if they did end up, then he would have a year to bed in, and then if one of those guys left in 2021, they'd already have a guy who's ready to go, and they could then buy another forward with the proceeds of that sale.
I think the difficulty is with Timo is that you are guaranteed to face direct competition from Bayern Munich.
Sure.
Bayern Munich are going to want that Lewandowski replacement. He's probably going to want to join Bayern Munich as that sort of German figurehead. That's the biggest club in Germany. That's the direct route everybody takes. And he will be like their long-term number 9, I think.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, Liverpool, it depends what state Liverpool are in. Like, if Bayern, I don't think Bayern are going to win the Champions League anytime soon.
Okay.
Unless they do have like a really lucky run, I think.
Yeah.
So if Liverpool were to go really deep again, then I think he'd look at them and he'd talk to Klopp, and I could see him being quite intrigued by that prospect. I think that Liverpool is a really exciting place to be right now.
Yeah, he started the season on fire as well under Nagelsmann. I think he's got a hat-trick at the weekend.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd stay at all?
At Leipzig. Well, we've talked about this show before, haven't we? The potential of Leipzig winning the league this season under Nagelsmann. Given that this could be Bayern's drop-off year, we seem to say that every year, but this could well be Bayern's drop-off year, having lost Reben, having lost Ribéry and Robben, and not adequately replaced them, I don't think, to the level they wanted to. Yes, they've got the likes of Pulisic through the door, but they definitely wanted Leroy Sané, and they couldn't get that deal done, partially because of the knee injury and partially because Man City just didn't want to sell. So if ever there was a year that they take a little bit of a tumble from grace by, and it might well be this year, but we said the same thing last year and they still crushed the league, although competing very closely with Dortmund. Stats suggest they were outperforming Dortmund by some way. So I think if ever there was a time to win the league, keep Timo Werner and sign a few more world-class players in the summer, this might be it for Leipzig. I don't think it'll happen. I think they'll lose Timo Werner for 30 million euros, and I think they'll have a bucket load of suitors. If Bayern don't want him and Liverpool don't want him, we will take it. At Man United, we need some forwards. So I think he'll probably leave in the summer. I think Man City have the best front three, just to go back to the question.
Okay.
Again, a little bit, it's not a classic front three, but I think if you were to line up with Leroy Sané, Sterling and Aguero, I think that, for me, is the best front three in world football under Pep Guardiola. But partially it's because of the management, it's because of the coaching. If that front three is in a different team, in a different situation, then no. But with Pep Guardiola, that is the best front three in world football.
And the midfield behind them gives so much. Like, when you think the midfield behind them probably includes at least 2 out of Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, like, you do kind of think, I don't know, they're not a true front three in the way that, like, Liverpool's are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for City as well, though, is that they've got so many that can swap in, like Mahrez. If Sané's back from injury,
Bernardo Silva can play wide.
Silva goes in.
But
Gabi Jesus.
In the same way, I also think that if Pep was managing the PSG front three, that would be the best front three. Or if he was back at Barcelona, that would be the best front three.
I guess you've got to look at it then without kind of considering that side.
If you take the management situation out, I don't think talent-wise they're the best front three in world football, but they're the most cohesive right now, I think. Just every single time you watch Man City play, you know that they're gonna, at least one of them is gonna score, and you know that they're gonna blow the opposition away. I mean, to take 30 plus shots against Tottenham Hotspur, not many teams in world football will be doing that this season. And if it does all come down to Pep, then fair enough, and we're not saying that they are the most talented. So talent-wise, I'll go back to Pato and I'll agree with him then. If it's Messi, it has to be Messi. But I just think with the coaching, it should be Pep.
I think in this current state, for me, it's Liverpool and City. But mainly also, I guess, I'm really interested in the fact that I want to know how long this front three lasts. Like, how long in football until we see the rise of the front two again? Or the lone striker again?
4-4-2.
I can't wait. Exactly, like, it's now like every team basically adopts a 4-3-3, especially in the top 6 in the Premier League. Think about it, I can't quite think.
What about Juve, by the way? Ronaldo, Dybala,
Mandzukic? Is that right?
Well, currently they're playing Douglas Costa, Higuain and Ronaldo. And Ronaldo's the weak link right now. Ronaldo started the season quite badly, like relative to the others.
Higuain, how is he still doing it?
Higuain has started the season absolutely on fire. Absolutely
But is that
on fire.
more of a commentary on the league or his ability?
I don't know, because he was slowing down he slowed down last season at Milan, and he slowed down the season
Definitely
before at
slowed down
Juve.
at Chelsea.
But
He couldn't run 10 yards.
I think it's just a combination of Sarri and Higuain and getting the ball to him. But I mean, Sarri's also currently making the midfield work. This summer we were kind of like, Ramsey, Rabiot, Pjanic. We can see how that lines up with his old Napoli midfield. But that's not it. Right now it's like Pjanic, Matuidi, Khedira, and they still look great. So I don't know. Like Sarri just seems to have supercharged them. But
Emre Can has kicked up a right fuss about
Yeah.
obviously being left out of the Champions
Well, he
League
wanted
squad.
to leave as well before.
Well, he was in talks with PSG,
yeah,
and
it was loads
then
of clubs.
Juve said no because they wanted to play him in the Champions League, and then he's got left out of the Champions League squad.
Peak for him.
I mean,
Could have won
yeah.
the league. Could have won the Champions League last season if he stayed at Liverpool.
sure. I don't really like Juve's front three. I mean, like if you put Dybala, Ronaldo, and one other together, I suppose it's still pretty good. But like talent-wise, I still don't think it comes anywhere near one that has Messi or one that has Neymar and Mbappe.
True.
Or even the combination of Sterling, Aguero, and Sane.
What about Real Madrid? Eden Hazard, Gareth
he's not
Bale,
played yet, has he?
Vinicius Junior.
You can't tell until they've all played together, right? Gareth Bale started the season fantastically. I mean, weirdly also got sent off. That I don't really think should have been a red card. But Vinicius is very exciting, and I mean, I guess it seems like it's Benzema up front and not Jovic.
What's that all about?
Like,
Well, I have no idea. Like Benzema had a really good game, the opening game of the season, but it seems like Jovic isn't fancied. Though he had a half an hour the other day and wasn't very good. But I mean, then again, Real Madrid don't look very good right now. Like they've got great defenders, but the defense looks horrible. So I think that they're in a little bit of a state system-wise, which you hope will be sorted by Hazard coming back, but or even just playing some of the defenders that they brought over some of the older guys, maybe. But I don't know, really. Like I think that if in a year's time their front three is Hazard, Vinicius Junior, and Jovic, that could be really, really good. But probably by the time Jovic and Vinicius Junior, as good as they are, reach the level of like Aguero and Sterling or something, Hazard will probably be on the downside.
Yeah, maybe a few Tottenham fans at home saying not the best in the world, but they're potentially one of the better front threes in the league.
do they play a front three?
Well, you could argue that
They
they
kinda
kind
do.
of play Dele, Kane and Son, which is definitely
Sure. but it's
Kane,
different.
Son and
Eriksen,
which is
yeah.
really
Yeah.
tasty. But then you can bring Arsenal into this and be like, okay, well, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe is quite good.
And
Like,
they do look very,
that's
very
fucking
good
tasty.
this season. They look fantastic, especially against Spurs. They kind of dominant.
Yeah.
I'd be unfortunate not to win.
when Pepe's still kind of bedding in, isn't he? Like at
Yeah.
the moment, he's still looking. He looks very good and promising, but he also looks very wasteful at
Yeah,
the moment.
he's a
trying to do
decision-making-
too much, though,
His
isn't
he?
decision making
He really
has
is.
not been tremendous.
But it is like the proper old school pundits where, you know, when they're like, oh, he's just trying to do too much in the ball. But he actually is.
It's a,
Pepe, like-
it's a classic player coming in from like a club where he was the main man, right?
Yeah.
And he was and it was like, well, you're running from deep, so you're allowed to waste the ball because you're the guy who does everything. And now at Arsenal, it's like he wastes it in the final third, and everyone's standing around being like, we're getting counter-attacked, and this is your fault. But I think that'll be an exciting front three. I mean, like, actually, there are a lot, even in mid-table. I think, like, you look at like West Ham now, and you think you've got Haller, Felipe Anderson, Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Fornals, like some combination
How
of
did
those
West Ham
guys.
get those players? It still blows my
Lanzini
mind.
has started the season
Still
on
blows my
flames.
mind.
Yeah, Lanzini
But
was
Fornals and
really good.
Anderson and Haller all up front. Like, that could be a top four side. Arguably, they
That's
could be
really
a top four
dirty.
side.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, Seb Haller, he I think is surprising all of the old school pundits that basically thought, oh, big lad coming in, he's going to be a target.
Well, of him and Jovic, right?
my
It was
God, he's so
Jovic that was like the key man out of them. In fact, it kind of looks like maybe Haller was.
Yeah, because he's the creator and he's the link guy. And when you've got those guys around him, I mean, Felipe Anderson is just like, Felipe Anderson is good enough to play for any club in the
Yeah,
world.
100%.
Like, because he can play so many different roles. But it's actually so satisfying watching Haller be great.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Why did it have to be West Ham?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like,
I mean,
could have
smart
been
business
anybody
from
in the
them
league
though.
at
Like
West Ham.
West
Could have
Ham,
been like Spurs or
West
something,
Ham
would have been
have done
great.
some really smart business, especially over the past like 2 seasons. arguably.
Worryingly smart business, but they've still got big goals. Like,
Yeah,
there's
indeed,
still
indeed
massive
they
pressure
do.
on
It's like
Declan
Mark
Rice.
and Noble still playing every game, basically.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
and there's still massive pressure on Diop playing every minute of every game. The fullbacks still
Fabianski having a
aren't
world
the
every
best.
now and again.
They're
Like,
going to create
Fredericks isn't
chances
great.
against you, but you you could still beat them.
Yeah, I totally agree. Whilst we're on the topic of Frankfurt, by the way, Rebic gone, Aller gone, Luka Jovic gone, all
Bastos
gone,
in.
and Andre Silva.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like they're just going, let's try it, see what happens.
To be honest, with Adi Hutter there, like he does just get attack out of people.
Yeah.
Like Rebic, Jovic, and Haller were all good the season before Adi Hutter came, but they were nowhere near as good as they were under him. Particularly Rebic. Like Rebic was linked with Bayern Munich like last summer, and I was kind of like, this guy doesn't look good enough for Bayern Munich. I would not buy him at all. And then he had an absolutely unbelievable season, and now I was kind of like, yeah, he probably is like Bayern level, but. I don't know. I think Bas Dost he'll just be there. But I think Andre Silva will actually be really good under Adi Hutter. I think he's a good kind of reasonably creative forward who's decent in the air. He's a good goal scorer. Like he had a really hot start to his time at Sevilla and then kind of tailed off. What you need is a manager who says,
can't settle, can it?
What you need is a manager who says, we understand you're going to have some dry patches because that's literally what being a forward is. But when you're loaning someone in, you're kind of like, are we just going to give this guy some time to get over his yips? Like, not really. You need production now. When you were Sevilla, you're like, we've got Ben Yedder, we've got Vazquez, we've got a million guys who play instead.
Yeah, he just hasn't ever settled though, Andre Silva. Like, didn't settle in Milan, didn't settle in Seville. Is he going to settle in Germany, or is he going to be at like a 6 months and he's out the door on loan in January?
They've got no choice though.
Leaving the Portuguese league, it's very hard to tell whether they're going to be like great or not. And in Portugal, he was very good, and then in Milan, he wasn't, and in Sevilla, he started well.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean, good luck to him, but I don't really see him paying off, to be honest.
I actually do. I think he'll be good. I think he'll have a really good season. And then they've got little baby Luka Jovic to come in next. Why can't I remember his name? It's like Jeljovic or something. Like the guy who
lad.
He played for Red Star. He came from. He's literally born in the same town as Luka Jovic. Like a year younger, I think.
Ridiculous.
Or right about the same age. And he looks like a good player.
What about Atletico? Not really a front three, more of a front two, but we may as well talk about their forward line. Yao Felix and Morata kind of playing.
Well, it's Diego Costa,
right now
isn't
it's Costa.
Is it?
Morata's injured.
Costa somehow, after thinking he had died, has been rebirthed, to come out of the grave.
Really?
Like he's killing it.
So I haven't seen any of Atletico this season other than one Yao Felix dribble from the halfway line.
He was genuinely dead last season. Like, I mean, there's no way around it. Like, he was actually terrible. And we were saying like he's done, and like now I'm getting like tweets from people being like, oh, I told you he wasn't done. It's like, but on the base, like he was so bad last season. He was like humiliatingly bad.
He got another injury as well, and it was like, this is it.
He was dreadful.
So is he playing as the lone striker and Yao Felix playing off him?
Sort of, yeah. But the thing is, I mean, they're a weird team, Atleti, and I still want to wait and see what they are, because right now they have absolutely unbelievable shot quality and are taking so few shots. They're averaging like 7 shots a game at the moment. But their shot quality is like 0.3 expected goals, 0.4 expected goals per shot. If you genuinely look at a shot map from their game, they've had like 6 shots, but all of them be around the edge of the 6-yard box.
Fair.
And that's what they've done in every game so far, which is a bit, it's not necessarily troubling, but it does make you think,
what's going on?
Is this intentional? Like, it's not like they've been scoring early. Like, you can imagine you get 2 really good chances in, say, the first 15 minutes, you score both of them, and then you don't bother attacking for the rest of the game. That's not what it's been. They were 2-0 down against Eibar, like, in the first half, and then they came back to win 3-2.
How are they lining up? Who's playing wide? Is it Tom Lamar?
They've got Partey and Saul basically doing everything in midfield. They've got Koke, who's kind of doing, like, a little bit of shuttling and creative work. And then they've got, like, João Felix, Lamar, like, as kind of creative guys with Costa.
Bloody hell.
Interesting.
Llorente hasn't played that much, I don't think, but people can correct me in the comments.
I'm just trying to think what other teams. I mean, you got Chelsea. They arguably
have a day
on
off.
The rise.
Have a day off.
There is interest. Like
that's your weakest area.
I would take West Ham's front 3 probably.
Yeah, 100%.
Certainly right now. Maybe not in the long run.
Sure, but I think
Hato hates Mason Mount as well. He's got an agenda against Mason Mount.
I'm not going to get into that. I very much enjoy it. But in terms of the youngsters that we've got, you've got Callum Hudson-Odoi, who ideally play on the right. Then you've got Pulisic on the left, and Tammy Abraham up top.
Yeah, but you have no idea. Callum Hudson-Odoi, we have no idea what he was, and we have no idea what he'll come back as after that injury. Like, don't get me wrong. 3 years' time, we might look at Chelsea's front 3 and think, wow, Tammy will be 24, Callum Hudson-Odoi will be like 22, and Pulisic will be what,
22 as well.
23? Really?
20 now.
God. No, so you look at them and you kind of think, okay, that could be a really, really exciting front line. On the other hand, they might have gone out and bought a superstar because they're like, wow, we've got a really big hole to fill because Pulisic is actually going to be more of an off-the-ball player for us and we need a creator.
But that's what I mean, in terms of, because the other comparable ones against Leicester, they've got, it's Vardy, Maddison kind of plays off him.
Vardy,
and then
Perez plays just off of him, like floating, but really plays a bit wider.
Them are kind of like the other outside of the top six. In terms of Chelsea-wise, I think it's nice to watch a young side play and play okay.
Yeah,
play decently.
I feel the same about Man United.
Tammy's clearly the real deal.
I mean, United's just kind of like, it's Rashford, Martial.
Just have that big hole on the right still, but Daniel James has started the season so well, but it's like...
Well, he scored goals. I'm not sure he's necessarily played well, if that makes sense. Like, so he scored that goal against Southampton, but then in the second half, you know the one where it gets crossed and he volleys it. It's basically a 1-2.
But
it's amazing.
What's basically happening is he's like shattered after 60 minutes. Absolutely.
Yeah, because he's just a pace merchant, right?
Because he's so fast and he's not used to playing like high intensity. Going to see a lot of the ball football.
Yeah.
So he is absolutely shattered by 60 minutes, and then every time the ball comes to him, he gives it away. And we don't really have the options off the bench. And I don't know why he hasn't wanted to use Mason Greenwood, but Greenwood hasn't really come on pre-80 to 85 minutes for United so far this season. He might well now, but Martial will probably be back after the international break, given he picked up a little bit of an injury. But yeah, Martial, Rashford as a front two, that's quite exciting. I just think we missed that quality on the right-hand side still. Obviously, we wanted Jadon Sancho, but we couldn't get Jadon Sancho.
Yeah,
that'd have been a sick front three, though.
I reckon next summer, it might be possible.
Yeah, not if you're not in the Champions League, though. Like, Jadon's going to have way better offers than Manchester United if we're not in the Champions League. That's Man United's dream front three, isn't it? Martial, Rashford, Sancho. But Sancho has to be playing Champions League football, and he's going to be playing that at Dortmund. They've just given him a new contract. If I'm Sancho, I'm thinking, why leave? Yeah. This is a great opportunity to win a Bundesliga title this year.
Dortmund's front three's not too bad either. Dortmund's front three's not too bad either. Alcazar, Royce, and Sancho. I mean, obviously Sancho's kind of the best one out of them all at the moment, but Royce has the experience, and Royce, to be fair to him, is still doing it.
But Sancho started the season at a ridiculous rate, absolutely ridiculous. I think he's got 2 goals, 3 assists in the first 3 games.
But then Paco has now stopped being a kind of super sub and started being a starter, and he got a couple of goals. But then the other day against Union Berlin, they were so bad. Like, lost 3-1. Like, didn't really take that many good shots. Conceded a bunch of good shots to a promoted side who got battered 4-0 by Leipzig. Like, that is really troubling. And so, I don't know, I think they'll be better as they integrate Brandt and particularly Torgan Hazard. I think that will really, really improve them.
So who do you drop for those? Because Sancho's nailed on to be a starter.
I'd probably put Paco on the bench and maybe think about Royce as a 9, so I've got a really fluid front three. But I think you could probably play Brandt in a 3-man midfield or even at 10, and then allow Sancho, Hazard and Royce to kind of interchange. I think that's probably the best.
Because we saw Brandt at Leverkusen. Brandt at Leverkusen towards the back end of the season played as like a shuttling 8, didn't he, alongside Kai Havertz. So you might see that happen for Dortmund, but that's a bloody exciting team. I just want Sancho at United. Please get a Sancho.
Everyone wants Sancho.
Where do you think he's going to end up?
He's a Chelsea fan.
If you had to pick a place that he ends up in the summer.
Chelsea, I do think, will go big next summer because they'll need
another. They've also got the money stored.
They'll need another guy in the front three, and
True.
Got to be in the Champions League.
100%.
And you're not going to be in the Champions League.
They would love to get Sancho there. Can you imagine? That'd be super fun.
Yeah, but they won't be in the Champions League.
I just have a horrible feeling he's going to Liverpool.
No, I'm not
I don't think
sure.
Real Madrid, I don't think are going to do it because they'll have Vinicius and Hazard. Like Barcelona,
they're going to focus on the centre mids.
Barcelona won't do it unless they'll go back for Neymar if they go back.
Yeah, they've spent too big going forward.
Would Bayern spend over 100 and something million?
Bayern would love him, but I think that if Sané's back, they'll go for Sané.
He's going to come back to England. I think he's going to end up coming back to England.
Yeah.
Unless it's PSG.
And I don't know if it'll be City.
PSG
get rid of Neymar and bring in Jadon Sancho.
If PSG let Neymar go, the absolute perfect guy to get would be Sancho.
Yeah, so then they have a front three of Sancho.
I just think I think he'll get offers from the Premier League, and I think he just prefers to play in the Premier League.
Man City as well. He could always go back to Manchester City.
Do you reckon he would though? Like, a lot of Man City fans don't like him because of the way he left. I also think
it'd be okay.
You look at their front three, and their front three is going nowhere. I mean, I suppose if they were to sell Sané, then bringing him in would be good, but I'd still think if I were him.
Sterling on the right, Sterling on the left, Sancho on the right.
I still think, Bernardo
Mars
Silva's
would
going
be
to play a
huge.
lot, and like, I don't know, maybe Bernardo goes full-time midfield.
Yeah,
but
don't. I'm trying not to picture him at Liverpool though. Like, if
I really don't want him to go to
really
Liverpool.
he cannot go to Liverpool. Sancho is to Liverpool. I'm getting to end it all.
But I mean, after what we said earlier,
Maybe come
about
to Arsenal,
Liverpool-
mate. He's best friends with Reece Nelson.
Where would he sit on the bench at Arsenal behind Nicolas Pepe, mate? The
No.
next Wonder Boy.
You pay him on the left,
If
you pay
Arsenal
Pepe
sell,
on the right.
like the plan,
Perfect.
the plan might be that Arsenal sell one of Lacazette and Aubameyang. Right?
Arsenal
I think
could
they-
not afford
and
Jadon
then-
Sancho.
I think
That's
Arsenal
the-
should sell one of those
Yeah,
guys
they
next
probably
summer.
couldn't afford him, but it's an option.
Unless they somehow Arsenal it and get over 50.
I mean,
euros.
Arsenal
they'll
also
have
had a
bigger
four-
issues,
Arsenal
they'll
had a
need to-
£40 million budget this year, and somehow it went over to 100 million.
No, but they hit about 40 million because of the way they paid it. It was about
Oh,
40. It was
But next
Yeah,
summer, you
yeah.
imagine if they can, they'll try and make Ceballos permanent. I don't think they'll manage it, but they'll try. They'll probably buy another centre back. They'll obviously have to pay some of the Saliba fee.
Yeah.
Because you've seen they've included Saliba in the Premier League squad.
Yeah, so that he'll
Yeah.
count as homegrown.
Yeah, Dowsery that.
Once he plays.
Yeah.
Tip your hat off to him.
I don't know. I think they actually have a lot of confidence in Reece Nelson and Bukayo Saka, and Gabriel Martinelli, and I think okay, maybe that's quite foolhardy, but sure, maybe they'll be good.
Is this Emery's last year?
Uh,
Technically.
Yeah. We need to see if his contract gets re-upped, but
It
I
definitely
think
will.
I think by like November we'll probably be looking okay for Champions League qualification. I think they might leave it till the. I'd actually like
That'd
it if
be
they left it till the end of the year.
mad.
Well, unless
Not much confidence in him though. if you do that.
yeah, but unless you're clear, unless you're like clearly going to be in the top four, why would you give him a new contract? Like,
But you could extend it by a year.
But say I was around with a break clause, I guess. But say it was around Christmas, I'd be like, we have no idea if we're going to be in the top four, even if we were like second.
But I
then I'd
actually
be like,
think
we're
you
not
probably will, because I think that the top four will be a clear disparity this season. So like United,
Yeah, but
Chelsea, Leicester.
Arsenal are not
Wolves.
going to be like
Believe,
9 points
Joe.
ahead of United at Christmas, and also that's
I think you might.
but also that's totally catchable. Like, I don't know, I would just wait. I would absolutely wait till next summer, and I'd be thinking towards the end of the season, who's going to be around? Because if somebody like Tuchel's around, I would take Tuchel over Emery. You know, if Allegri's looking to get back in, because people say Allegri's defensive. Emery's really defensive. Emery's a really defensive manager, and Allegri is
Played 3 DMs at home to Tottenham.
and Allegri's
And Guendouzi was mental.
and Allegri's better at being that
Yeah.
guy than Tuchel,
I mean,
Emery. So
But
I
Letty
don't
don't
know.
do it again. Simeone, you never know. Sniff about again.
I wouldn't go
Simeone's
Simeone
never
personally.
leaving Atletico. Simeone's going to be there for about 40 years at Atletico.
And if he leaves, he'll go to like Juve or something. Juve will be like Sarri will
Bayern.
flame. Sarri would like flame out in the Champions League spectacularly because they'll like rinse through the group stage and then they'll get to like the quarters and they'll play City and they'll lose like 8-1 because they're just like.
If Simeone
they'll-
was ever going to leave, he would have left. He's had like whole squad turnover.
Yeah, it's
All
true.
of his best
Twice.
players have now f***ing left. Like he's won the league. He's got nothing else to achieve there other than the Champions League, which he's probably
Never
not
gonna
going to win.
win.
He's just going to sit there now and become like the greatest manager in the club's history,
If not-
like
is
the
he not
biggest
already?
legend of all time at Atletico, in my opinion. I don't
Yeah.
think he's ever going to leave, and if he
Yeah.
does, it's going to be totally bizarre seeing him at another club. But anyway, to get back to Misha's question, let's just wrap it up. One team each, and you've got to pick one. Zach,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
and I'll go Barcelona. There we go. But who's your favourite front three in world football? Let us know in the comments below. Moving straight on to quickfire questions then. Sam Goz says, who has been the best under-21 player in the Premier League so far this season?
It's been 4 games.
4 games in, everybody's getting a bit trigger happy on Twitter already. Total lack of patience, but it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, probably. You know what? Daniel James
Yeah.
is alright, but Wan-Bissaka's ridiculous.
Wan-Bissaka, 12
I think Dan
tackles
James is
against
21
Southampton.
Oh, is it? Right.
Like I don't know. There are only 3 contenders, right? Really.
12
for the-
tackles, there's no contenders, it's
That's
Aaron.
not a good
There's-
thing.
there's also Trent.
It's not a good thing.
There's also Trent and there's also Guendouzi. Like you,
Oh.
Guendouzi has been
those
very,
guys
very
have got to
good.
be in that conversation. But I mean, Wan-Bissaka has pretty much. I mean, against Chelsea, he was like playing as a DM and a right back
Yeah,
at
it's
the same
class.
time.
He's playing centre back, right back, left back to cover Ashley Young, DM, right
At the same
wing.
time, you haven't really played any particularly good attacking sides yet.
Yeah, I would partially agree with that. Like, they're not a good attacking side. They're very disciplined Wolves. Like, they're very hard to
Yeah.
break down. And that's probably Wan-Bissaka's weakest area of his game is going
Currently,
forward.
yeah.
Currently, he might improve, and he looks like he's improving. But defensively, he's just insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Guendouzi, I think, is in with a shout as well.
Guendouzi
That's
against Spurs was the
Spurs
first time
performance.
I've watched him and he's gone, like, Jesus Christ, this guy is something. He was doing everything. Like, I didn't realise, obviously I always knew he's very good defensively, but his creativity, which he seems to have improved against Spurs, was fantastic. The ball he put in for Aubameyang was ridiculous. And then he got called up to the national team as well from it.
Yeah, from the under-21 setup. But anyway, if you want to hear us talk more about Matteo Guendouzi, make sure you download the Sunday Vibes Extra Time podcast. The link is in the top of the description right now. Pato bought them up. We're chatting all things Euro 2020, so it's well worth a listen. James 067876778 says,
Jesus.
Firstly, change your handle. Secondly, says, what was the best deal from deadline day in Europe? Icardi, wasn't it? Icardi for £0.
Could be terrible.
It could get Tuchel the sack, that deal. That could get Tuchel the sack, given that he's got two of the biggest prima donnas in world football, Icardi and Neymar, in the same team. If those two clash, he's...
Did Boateng end up moving?
Jerome Boateng didn't, I don't think.
I don't think
he
so.
Was
either.
close to.
He was close to Juve, right? I don't know, man. Like, I don't even remember the final day deals.
Not much
Not
happens.
really. Well, there's now,
Andre
isn't
Silva
it
went
like
to
the Premier
Frankfurt.
League clubs are now looking to go back to
They're reverting.
because all the others
Which we
didn't
said
move.
they should have done.
Yeah, but I don't know. It wasn't, to be honest, here, the second the Premier League window closed, that was kind of it. I kind of found.
Oh,
Like,
it was
it wasn't really much. Like, you'd listen, then the Neymar deal kept just going on and on
no,
and
that was
on.
so
It was so
boring.
great.
Do me
not
a
having to
favour
pay
and just
attention.
leave or stay. Like, that's it.
Was Sanchez on deadline day?
Sanchez was, I think it was like confirmed on deadline day.
Darmian out might have been deadline day
What,
for
like
Parma.
1.3 mil or whatever it was.
Just that £15 million loss there. Paid 16 off Torino. What's an absolute dead deal that
Mkhitaryan
was.
out on loan.
Oh, Mickey to Roma. Good shout.
I think Mickey will actually be alright in Roma.
They
The
hoovered
day
up
after
some
playing against
absolute.
Spurs.
Yeah, that was mental.
They hoovered up some dog Roma this summer. They
Roma
really
look-
did.
I
don't
Roma
know,
look-
I
They've got
feel like-
Smalling and
Well,
Mkhitaryan in it.
Smalling and Mkhitaryan are both fine. They're not dog shit. They're just not good.
Well, I'm not
I
sure
don't know.
what the plans are for the future of Roma
No,
when those two are being bought
that's
in.
a fair point. But I don't know.
They also let shit go to Leipzig.
And didn't El
Yeah, that was a
Shawari
weird
move to
one.
China? Like,
Yeah, he
loads
did,
of
but that was
different-
really early on. I don't know. I actually kind of liked the fact that, like, once the transfer window ended here, I could just watch the Premier League and not care about. It was a really intense transfer window where loads happened.
Yeah.
Then it ended, and I just got to enjoy the football. And I as much as I could, I ignored the Neymar thing, but it was annoying.
everywhere.
It really was. Haley Amon says, which top 5 league has the most title contenders this season? I don't think it's England. I think that's
no,
2.
yeah.
I think it's either Germany or Spain.
Germany have got potentially 3, right?
I think Germany have got Leipzig, Dortmund, Bayern,
It
Spain.
might be Spain, yeah.
Spain, probably. Although Spain's
Spain
really
at
2. I'm not sure Real Madrid are a serious title contender.
Really? I
Really
don't
think
think
it's
you
like
could
Leti Barca.
Yeah.
I don't think you can ever rule out Real.
I think you can. I've ruled them out for
What did
pretty
they-
much the
what
last
did-
10 years.
What did they lose last season by? 13 points? Was it?
I
Off the
don't
top,
know.
something like
They
that?
were rubbish last season, and Barca weren't particularly
It's
fantastic.
definitely not France. PSG going to run away with it again.
And there are so many spoilers in Spain as well. Like, there are difficult teams, like Valencia, Sevilla. These teams will
True,
do the
yeah.
big sides a lot. By the way, Barcelona at the weekend against Osasuna drew 2-2, got massively pumped on expected goals. Like, genuinely, didn't have a shot in the last half hour, I think. Despite, like, in the last half hour, they were leading 2-1. They got pegged back to 2-2. Still didn't produce a single shot. Like,
Jesus.
genuinely,
Jesus.
it's staggering. And don't get me wrong, like, Messi coming back in is just going to solve problems. That's going to solve pretty much every problem you could have. But it is worrying that that team, with the talent it's got, does not work at all without him. Like, that is really, really worrying.
What about Italy? Juventus,
But I mean,
Inter Milan, Napoli, serious contenders.
can
Inter
you-
Milan, Napoli, I think this year.
I think Inter could do it. I don't think Napoli will.
But that was a crushing blow on the weekend to lose to Juve there. That Koulibaly own goal was absolutely diabolical.
Inter might be really good. They might be really,
don't
really
know
good.
yet.
So, like, they're probably 2.5 serious contenders in Italy.
Overall,
probably
though,
Spain.
probably Spain or Germany.
Yeah.
Right, Alex Gillum says first manager to be sacked? Question mark. I feel like
In
we
the
might have
Prem, I
answered that
assume.
before, but we'll keep it Premier League. I'm going to go for Stevie Bruce. I think.
Really?
I mean,
Steve
You've
Bruce.
changed
or-
your mind. Were you not on Gracia?
Oh yes, it was. I completely
What,
forgot
Watford?
about Gracia. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gracia will
Yeah.
definitely be the first to be go. If that Gracia's still here 2-3 weeks time, I'll be shocked.
that early,
Yeah,
they're sacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they started badly and they've got a tough run.
I
coming
totally
up,
forgot
don't
he even existed, Javi Gracia. That's how sackable he is.
After that, you
Gracia.
think about Bruce and you think about Hodgson, who are the guys who are like at clubs where you expect them to have a tough season. Like Palace have been lucky with the points they've got so far. And to be fair, getting those points when they've got like one expected point or something, that genuinely might be that might be enough to keep them up. Like, it really might.
Another shout. I think Dean Smith might be in trouble.
What, United?
Potentially.
No, I don't.
No, at Villa.
Oh, sorry.
At Villa. I think Villa have the hallmarks of a relegation team already.
I think Villa are in quite a lot of trouble. I actually think Norwich are probably in quite a bit of trouble as well because they can't defend, but they at least can attack better than Villa can. I look at Villa
Vesley
really
needs to
well.
have the best season he's ever had by some distance.
Yeah,
said
Vesley
he
needs to
looks
get
really
like
good.
15 Premier League goals minimum probably.
And McGinn needs to get like 10, in and around the 10 mark.
Yeah, because otherwise, because who else is
I
going to
don't
get
think,
it?
I don't think
Trezeguet?
Grealish has looked great, if I'm being honest.
Okay, but he's not a goal scorer
He's
either, is he?
fine,
true.
but like people go wild about Grealish,
They
and I
very
can't
much do.
quite work it out. Like he's obviously a very good player. He's obviously a Premier League player. He's not good enough to fix a team which has as many problems as Villa do. I think Villa are going to take some pumpings this season. I really do.
Yeah, I'm going to go then. Yeah, I am going to go Gracia and then secondary Dean Smith.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's much change to that. Unless there was an unexpected, like...
And Stevie Bruce could be in the...
But a lot of it comes down to expectations, right?
Yeah.
So if Ashley was kind of like, I don't know, Ashley did spend quite a lot of money, so maybe he's like, oh yeah, we could still have a good season. Whereas to us, we're like, they're going to have a terrible season, they're going to be fighting relegation, and therefore you wouldn't sack Bruce because you'd be like, if we hired him, why would we sack him, given that we knew what this year was going to be? Like, he's not going to underperform, right? They're going to be exactly what you expect them to be. But they will be rubbish, and so Bruce probably is on the chopping block.
Okay, should I have any changes?
No, I'll go those two. I don't think there's any-
All right, let's finish with a personal question. Then this one was sent in by Zach Kingdom. If you want to get any of your questions answered next week, slam them in the comments below, or you're more likely to be picked if you send them to us on Twitter on the below handles. We usually put a tweet out on like Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that sort of time, because we shoot this on a Thursday. Zach Kingdom says, what meal deal do you go to from Tesco's?
I don't think I've ever done Tesco meal deal.
I know Joe's tactic. Joe's tactic is to get the most expensive meal deal he can.
Okay, what
You've
do you
got to
go
run
for?
it up. You've got to run it up.
Yeah? What do you go for then?
I often go for an innocent red berry smoothie.
Mate,
Comes
no.
in at about £2.80 of a £3 meal deal, bearing in mind. Anything from there is just all golden.
Yeah.
I usually go for
Pure profit.
a chili heat wave or a sensation chili crisp, which comes in at about 80p, so I'm rocking about 360.
Those Sensations chili crisps
And
are a
then
bit overrated.
I'll just get the most expensive sandwich.
Isn't that like prawn or something?
No, I'm not touching that. You can't be having shellfish.
What
from
is the
Tesco.
most expensive?
It
sandwich?
varies.
Turkey
It
club sandwich
varies.
ain't too
Turkey
bad.
club's quite
Ooh,
good.
that
yeah.
sounds good.
But that comes in at about £2.20. So I'm looking to hit around the £5 mark for a £3
Okay,
meal deal. Although sometimes, if I'm feeling a bit cheeky, I'll just go ham and mustard.
Interesting. What about you?
I am probably...
Can you get a milkshake on it? Can you get like a Yazoo?
There might be a
can,
Yazoo.
yeah,
There might be
you
a
can.
Yazoo.
Because I would quite like to
or
do
a
like
fridge.
I'd quite like to do the one that I'd have done like as a 5-year-old, which would 100% be like Yazoo, Monster Munch, like BLT or something.
That's definitely
That-
available.
yeah, I
BLT
think-
and Monster Munch. I think a Yazoo might have to be substituted for a fridge.
Called.
Depends
Oh, okay,
how I'm
I'll
feeling.
take a fridge, but they're not great.
No.
Depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll go for a bit of pasta, maybe if I'm feeling a bit ropey.
Oh.
Or
Yeah, but
maybe
then
I'll go for a roll.
You're getting
if I'm feeling a
shafted
bit too
money-wise.
far.
That's the opposite of his because like pasta is so cheap for them to make.
Yeah.
Mate. You're getting the shaft.
Didn't know that. But no, my main one is normally like a turkey club sandwich, Monster Munch.
Is that the triple decker Turkey Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Monster Munch? Pickled
Oh no, not
Because
pickled
I think
onion.
beef are better and
No.
flaming hot are good.
Beef. Very
Beef
rare.
Monster Munch. Are
very
you a
rare
psychopath over pickled onion?
Oh, pickled
All of
onion
them are
get in the
good.
bin.
All of them are good.
Mate,
No,
it's
pickled
very
onion
rare-
can't get in the
very
bin.
rare-
Pickled onion are good.
Very rare you find a.
Are you
flavoured
mad? You two have
Yeah.
lost
Very
your
rare you find
heads.
a flavour.
Beef over pickled onion?
No, but I'm sorry. All
Then
Monster
you can
Munch
jog on.
flavours are fantastic. They're all good.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
Come on.
I'm just not a big pickled onion kind of fan.
So
No,
you
but
don't
pickled
like-
onion Monster Munch specifically are amazing.
All right, so there we have it anyway. Let's
Sure.
move on before we get too embedded in meal deals. But thank you very much for watching. Go and check Zach out on Chelsea FC's official YouTube channel.
He's going to be
by the
assistant
way.
manager by the end of the season.
Probably will be alongside Frankie Lamps. Pato, anything to plug?
By the time this is out, there will be a new episode of The Game's Gone Mad with
Yeah.
me, Jellab, and Pete Dorman.
Peter.
And obviously, Stat Wars is up and running
Oh.
at the moment. There's a big game to look forward to between me and Joe.
Oh, there is. No spoilers, but. Bye.